Hey there, aviation enthusiasts. Do you think you've heard it all when it comes to bizarre aviation stories? Well, buckle up, because this one's a real doozy. Did you know that the US Air Force once used a gorilla mask to gaslight their own pilots? That is right, you heard me correctly, a gorilla mask. But how does this strange story connect to one of the most significant aircraft in aviation history, the P-59? That's what we're here to uncover. So get ready to be blown away by one of the weirdest stories in aviation history and learn about the incredible P-59 airplane in the process. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one. Now, let's talk about the P-59 airplane. The P-59 was an experimental fighter jet developed by Bell Aircraft Corporation in the late 1940s. It was the first jet-powered aircraft produced in the United States and played a significant role in shaping aviation history. Designed to reach high speeds and altitudes, the P-59 was a pioneer in aviation technology and paved the way for future aircraft development. Can you imagine seeing this bad boy flying in the skies? It must have been a sight to behold. My aviation nerd audience is going to love this video. So, how did the P-59 come to be? Well, the story behind this incredible aircraft is just as fascinating as the airplane itself. Developed by Bell Aircraft Corporation during World War II, the P-59 was created in response to the German Messerschmitt Me 262, the first operational jet-powered fighter aircraft. The U.S. Army Air Corps needed a jet-powered aircraft of its own to keep up with the Germans, and Bell Aircraft Corporation was up to the task. The development of the P-59 was not without its challenges, though. In fact, the airplane's initial design was met with skepticism and doubt from the military officials who were overseeing its development. However, despite the doubts, the P-59 managed to pass its initial tests with flying colors. The jet engines proved to be incredibly powerful and provided the P-59 with a speed and maneuverability that the propeller-driven aircraft of the time simply couldn't match. Despite the setbacks, the P-59 ultimately proved to be a game-changer in aviation history. Its jet engines paved the way for future aircraft development and helped establish the United States as a leader in aviation technology. Now, it's time to unveil the secret y'all want to know, where things get really interesting. During the testing phase of the P-59, the U.S. Air Force engaged in a rather bizarre and unexpected tactic. They used a gorilla mask. Yes, you heard that right, a gorilla mask. The first thing that comes to mind is, why did they do so? There was one simple objective: secrecy. It is common knowledge that your most powerful weapon in a war is the one that your enemy doesn't know about. The P-59 Airacomet project was still in developmental stages at that time. The stakes were high and the officials didn't want any of this information getting out, especially to the enemy. The officials couldn't risk lowering the morale of the U.S. Air Forces if this project turned out a failure, and they didn't want the Germans to prepare in advance for the P-59. That is why they came up with this clever and absolutely ingenious idea of using a gorilla mask for any pilot flying the P-59. It was a remarkably brilliant psychological trick. The idea behind this act was that if any fellow pilot sees the P-59 in the air, he would tell others about the super-fast jet without a propeller, and the secret would get out. However, if he also mentions that the pilot of that plane was a gorilla, no one would take him seriously. At high altitudes under immense atmospheric pressure, it is common for the pilots to get lightheadedness, hence everyone would think that the pilot must be hallucinating. The story goes that during one of the P-59 test flights, a pilot reported seeing a flying gorilla in the skies. The Air Force officials were skeptical of the pilot's claims and wanted to test his credibility. The trick worked exactly the way the officials wanted it to. Any pilot himself would feel stupid telling his colleagues that he just saw a gorilla flying a jet. It just sounds absurd. Would you tell your coworkers if you saw a gorilla making a coffee in the kitchen during your lunch break? Neither would I. The use of the gorilla mask was a form of gaslighting, a tactic used to manipulate someone's perception of reality. The U.S. Air Force officials were able to keep the project a secret, and they also got to test the credibility of the pilots to identify objects in the sky accurately. Can you believe it? A gorilla mask to gaslight pilots during the testing phase of the P-59. But hey, it just goes to show how far the U.S. Air Force was willing to go to make sure that P-59 Airacomet stayed a top secret. Let's take a closer look at this bizarre incident with some visuals and animations. Lightning fast and precise, there aren't many ingredients needed to make a lethal flying bird. Now that we know the backstory of the P-59 and the Gorilla Mask incident, let's take a closer look at the aircraft itself. This will give you an idea about U.S. Army's top secret approach about this project. One of the most unique features of the P-59 was its lack of a propeller. That's right, it was one of the first jet-propelled aircraft to be used by the U.S. Air Force. This innovative technology allowed for faster speeds and higher altitudes, making it an important milestone in aviation history. It doesn't matter how fast a plane flies, it has to give killer blows to the enemy. P-59 was equipped with 4 .50 caliber machine guns and a 37mm cannon, making it a formidable aircraft in combat. This performance was comparable to other aircraft of the time, such as the P-38 Lightning and the P-47 Thunderbolt. To give you a better idea of what made the P-59 unique, let's take a look at some graphics and animations showcasing its features. You can see for yourself just how innovative and groundbreaking this aircraft truly was. The P-59 may not have seen extensive action during World War II, but its impact on aviation history cannot be understated. It was the first jet aircraft to be used by the U.S. Air Force, paving the way for a new era of faster, more advanced aircraft. The P-59 also played an important role in shaping the design of future aircraft. Its twin boom tail, bubble canopy, and other design features inspired future aircraft such as the F-80 Shooting Star and the F-86 Sabre. While the P-59's performance in combat was limited, its legacy lives on in the advancements it made in aviation technology and design. Do you remember which aircraft corporation developed the P-59 Airacomet? The answer was Bell Aircraft Corporation. If you had the wrong answer, then you have to subscribe to our channel on your way out as it concludes our video. We hope you enjoyed this fascinating story about the P-59 airplane and the bizarre incident where the U.S. Air Force used a gorilla mask to gaslight their own pilots. Remember, aviation history is full of incredible stories just waiting to be discovered. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Leave your suggestions in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that bell icon for more amazing stories from the world of aviation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.